Hey, my name is WSRX or Noah Clark, and you're watching Worldwide Sim Racing for the 2020 WSR Azerbaijan Grand Prix. We're back again at the city of Baku in this Baku street circuit, and we're getting ready for round 4 of the championship. It's been a hotly contested championship since the very beginning, and we're getting ready for another round of WSR action here in Azerbaijan. We have almost all the drivers ready to get in the grid. We have 14 drivers that will be driving with us today, pretty much. And we are just getting ready for the start. We are very close to start time, about 60 seconds to go from the start of the race. We will have 18 minutes of short qualifying as usual, a race distance of 50%, and 50% distance of non-stop action in this WSR Azerbaijan Grand Prix. If you're joining us for the first time, my name is WSRX or Noah Clark. I'll be your head commentator for today. Official Solely, our co-commentator, will not be attending the race today. He just has some things to deal with, and we wish him all the best. And we're just getting ready for the lobby to begin the qualifying session. Seeing if there's any more drivers that need to get into the lobby. And I do apologize for the delay, ladies and gentlemen. There is some technical difficulties with the setup for the start. And here we are. Everything is set to go. 20 seconds from the start of short qualifying for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Just 15 seconds to go, waiting for it to start so we can really start getting into our commentary for the race today. All races are broadcasted live on the WSR YouTube channel. Just go to www.youtube.com/Worldwide Sim Racing. And you can find us right here. And getting ready, loading up into the short qualifying session. Again, 18 minutes of nonstop action in qualifying. All the drivers can go out on track and perform their qualifying laps, and it's a span of 18 minutes. Usual qualifying is about an hour, which is the 3 stages of qualifying. So we just have the all-in-one short qualifying of 18 minutes, but do keep in mind, it does feel very, very short to the drivers as they look to set the best laps they can to be on pole position. And we're just getting ready for the start. About to load up into the race. And there's all the drivers' names there, and that is usually an indicator. And yes, there we go. Getting ready for the pit lane. And there we are. Sun setting down onto the drivers as we're getting ready, as we have 14 drivers. Albiku 1, Flip Flop Fish, Sweet Crown 19, Tepaster, Seafreeze 22, Scarlogan LPC, Ben Sorvin 138, WSR Gurman, Dempsey, Nathan DeVillers, Mike 52, Usimi Flying, Blank 101, and Mitch 791. We're racing around the Baku street circuit in Azerbaijan. Anthony 8291 was the driver who won this last race, as there is Flip Flop Fish, one of the first drivers who usually gets out. First held in 2016, the first winner of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix was in fact Nico Rosberg in the Mercedes. in 2016. And this 26-lap race is the standard for the 50% race around here. And a total of 20 corners around the track. As following right now on board with Flip Flop Fish, there is a racing point. I believe that's Mike 52 who's ahead of him, and yes, it is. You see me flying also out on track now. A few drivers out on track. Blank 101 in the Haas, who we knew was going to be joining us soon. Thankfully, he is able to join us today. There is You See Me Flying in the other Mercedes car, who had a very good finishing position yesterday. Flip Flop Fish, just a point ahead in the championship at the moment. If he was not able, it was supposedly he would not be able to make it to the race, and if Psycho Sane was to win, he would just be a point out. But Psycho Sane actually not in the race this weekend, so he will not be able to capitalize on what has been a resurgence for him. And oop, I believe something came off the racing point of Mike 52, and oh, Mike 52 has crashed going into Sector 2 into Sector 3, and he's crashed into the wall. He didn't brake hard enough, and there is the wreckage of Mike 52 in the racing point, and there will be no pink car on the grid. Just minutes in the qualifying, and Mike 52 is done in qualifying. It has not been a very good season for him since joining WSR. He's had a crash in the very first race, a poor result in the last race. Just not been the best of times for Mike 52. And again, a crash in qualifying has that. And oh, look at this. Scar Logan LPC has been given a 5-second penalty, but he's in the pit lane. I'm not too sure. Was it Sweet Crown 19 who had that penalty? I'm not particularly sure. Dempsey is also retired from the session. Look at that. There's a crash right there. And look at this. Coming out of the turn, we can see the car just right there. And look at that. Dempsey crashing into the wall. The streets of Baku are already claiming lives as the walls are not being very forgiving today. Tires popping off everywhere. And 2 cars are already retired from the session. And again, this is what street circuits do. The confinement of the walls, making you feel choked. And You See Me Flying, going past him. And oh, there's a big crash of cars. Seafreeze, DeVillers, and Ben Swervin are all caught up in the castle section. And that's one of the other, I believe that's the Mercedes, and yes, it is. Flip Flop Fish has had a big incident, and there was a huge pileup of 4 cars in the castle section, and there has been absolute carnage in qualifying so far. Flip Flop Fish is struggling for grip. He has no front wing. Of course he would be. Wants to make sure not to crash. You See Me Flying has an illegal blocking of 5 grid place penalty. That's unbelievable. It's probably because he's going so slow. And oh my goodness, Gurman at the moment fastest on track, but a huge amount of cars of damage in this race and huge carnage for everybody, and I hope he doesn't get another blocking penalty because of the incidents he's had. There's another yellow flag in Sector 1. Sector 3 now there's a yellow as a bunch of cars will be diving into the pits. DeVillers is on the outside of one of the cars. He just finally, nope, he's still not able to get into the pit lane, and this is going to be dicey, and oh, he had to cut across one of the other drivers. There goes You See Me Flying, the blank, and then the Mitch looks to be okay. He's in the other McLaren, and yes, he is. Nathan DeVillers also in the other McLaren, and that could have been horrendous. None of the drivers crashed that got into that castle section palooza, as you might say it to be. As here comes Sweet Crown 19, as there's a stack in the pit lane for the Mercedes again. They've been stacking a lot this season. Let's get the telemetry and lap times for the drivers, as here comes Sweet Crown 19 coming into the 3rd sector, a little bit on the, oh, and again, almost put into the wall. Now, Sweet Crown has been doing a lot of installation laps since beginning this season, something he wasn't doing last year. So this might just be an installation lap. He is on the hard compound tire. Obviously, not the best tire to be on a street track. You want maximum grip going into all your turns. So he might just be doing an installation lap. And we're going to see if he just dives back into the pits or he's going to set the lap. And yes, he will go back into the pits going just for an installation lap. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has been absolute carnage in this Azerbaijan qualifying session. Drivers left and right crashing. Of course, a huge pileup in the stadium section of the track. And that is something I have never seen before. And hopefully we don't see again. And here comes Blank 101 coming out of the pits in his Haas, and he'll look not to get messed up into another little battle in the castle, and possibly look to actually set a lap time, as a few of the other drivers should be going out soon. Here comes Scar Logan LPC. Now, he said there was apparently a five grid place penalty, but I didn't see that as he was still in the pit lane, and he's not going to go into the pits. Let's see what this time is going to be for Scar Logan LPC. It is going to be nothing yet. I believe he might have been on his out lap there. Wasn't reading too well. There's a lot of stuff going on as Gurman is currently on pole position right now. The Mitch is behind him with a 140. And actually, the only man on track currently setting a lap, Elbiku and Scar Logan LPC. I'm going to ride on board of Elbiku as he just got out of turn 1, almost bended into the wall there as well. And there's Flip Flop Fish. And Scar Logan LPC has retired. It's saying he's in the pit lane. I don't know if he crashed or he just decided to retire, like, manually. I'm not too sure what happened there, but Scar Logan LPC apparently is out of the session. There's Ben swerving in the Alfa Romeo, and all of his front wing end plates are on the car right now, so no damage. Now, a lot of drivers getting claimed in these hard downhill braking turns, and he is being very cautious and braking much earlier than you normally would in order to avoid the wall. And I'm going to ride on board with Elbiku. He's coming into the castle section now, completely clean, and actually very well planted onto the apex. Is cutting it a little bit there on the turn and then going a little wide. That might not be good for him, as Scar Logan LPC has joined the session again. And here comes Elbiku, braking hard, hitting the apex of the turn, keeping it out of the wall. Now coming into Sector 3. And what's that Sector 2 time? It's going to be a 1:16.9. And not a terrible time, but will he get on pole position? Elbiku is going to be the next man to set a time in qualifying. There's been absolute mayhem in this Azerbaijan qualifying session. 9 minutes and 40 seconds and counting to go as here comes Elbiku, and there will that DRS flap open. Let's see what his time is going to be. It won't be pole position. It's actually just going to be third fastest. Not a very quick time from him. Here comes Flip Flop Fish in the Mercedes, looking to possibly get on pole position, get ahead of Gurman. Going through Sector 1, keeping it out of the wall. Scar Logan LPC leaving the session again and hugging it to the wall is Flip Flop Fish. And I would not have the same amount of respect for the track as he would. I would be far away from the walls. But Flip Flop Fish putting it all on the line in order to get on pole position. Now coming back into the castle section, missing the walls this time. And here we go, a little wide out of the turn, but I don't think that's going to invalidate his lap time as he's turning in, coming up to the hard braking zone, the hard downhill braking left-hander, and off the curb a little bit, bouncing the car, but he keeps it out of the wall. Into Sector 3, into the very long straight, start-finish straight, which has a few kinks, and then just bolting it all the way down, getting well over 200 miles per hour if you're running a high-speed downforce setup, which what makes this track so unique is not only the tight turns, but also that you need to make sure to keep maximizing your speed, as he's going to get well over 210 miles an hour, 211, and it's only going to be second fastest, so Gurman is still fastest on track. And the Ferrari right now on pole position, as he's currently on an out lap. He's on that soft compound tire. Let's see what he's going to do. Noticing a lot less speed going down the straight, 199 miles an hour before braking hard into turn 1. Turn 2, almost the exact same kind of procedure. Again, a very hard left-hand turn before coming down the straight again. This DRS straight. There's a yellow flag in sectors 2 and 3. I'm not too sure who that's for, as that might be, and it's the pastor who's had an accident, and he is just reversing. But he is still in the session, thankfully. And here it comes, Sweet Crown 19 setting another lap. Let's see what he can do. Seafreeze currently jumps Flip-Flop Fish, and oh, look at that. It looked like Flip-Flop Fish might have hit the wall a little bit there. Seafreeze 22, still, though, slower than Gurman right now, who's fastest man on track right now, and Sector 2 time was not looking nearly as nice as his original time. Here comes Blank 101, and not a very fast time for him, and oh no, look at this. Is this going to be carnage for Sweet Crown 19, who might have just crashed out of... And yes, he has! He's crashed into the castle section, and there's Nathan DeViller sitting in front of Sweet Crown 19. He's crashed out of qualifying, and only a fastest. Sweet Crown 19 with another abysmal spot, and Seafreeze has a collision with You See Me Flying. Where's You See Me Flying right now? He must have had an incident with Seafreeze going into the castle section. I think they might have broke there, and Seafreeze has a penalty of 5 grid place penalty for hitting You See Me Flying. It was a You See Me Flying that got that grid place penalty. Nevertheless, it's carnage in this qualifying, and look at this. No front wing again for You See Me Flying. He's going to have to keep it out of the wall, making sure to brake very, very early so that not to hit the wall, and Seafreeze has made contact with You See Me Flying, and I believe he has front wing. No, he doesn't have front wing damage. Seafreeze actually came off okay, but obviously can be far too slow to set another lap time. And You See Me Flying, of course, will of course have to go into the pits. Only 5 minutes and 50 seconds to go and counting in qualifying. And this is not a very good turn of events for anybody in qualifying. Sweet Crown 19 is out of qualifying, crashing in the castle section. And Azerbaijan claiming a lot of lives so far. As here comes the Pastor over the line, and it's going to be 4 fastest. A very good time for the Renault driver. A lot of drivers in the 1 minute 40. 2 in the 1 minute 41s. And not a bad lap at all for Pastor. Riding on board with Ben Swerve, he's in the Alfa Romeo. He has a chance... Not on this lap, definitely on maybe his next lap, to get ahead of Sweet Crown 19, unless he will get ahead of Sweet Crown 19, who actually didn't set a lap time at all. So Ben Swerven, for the first time, will technically qualify ahead of his teammate. And just notice he wasn't able to set a lap time. It's only a 1:43, so surely he might get beaten by another driver, but that would be catastrophic for him, as here comes Sector 2. For Nathan DeVillers, and will he be able to get a little bit faster? And he goes hard over there, and ooh, he almost hits in the wall, and then coming out of the turn on the throttle was not very easy in there. And there's a yellow flag in Sector 3. Nathan DeVillers going through the kinks. Did somebody spin? I'm not too sure. Maybe somebody had an accident. That yellow flag is still there in Sector 3, so I'm just waiting to see what this could possibly be. No retirements yet on track unless somebody has stopped. Here's the yellow flag flashing. Who is it? Is he in the pit lane? He might have just darted in the pit lane. A crash nonetheless. And then it's Nathan DeVillers in the McLaren on pole position. A provisional pole position for him. 4/10 faster than Gurman in the Ferrari. And the orange car is on pole position. Nathan DeVillers, who had a horrid start in the... a horrid end to his British Grand Prix last weekend, is on pole position at the moment. And another yellow flag. I'm not sure if the Renault has damage. Another yellow flag in Sector 2. So much carnage in this qualifying session. Nobody able to keep it out of the wall. And here comes Blank 101 behind Scar Logan LPC. Another yellow flag in Sector 2. Somebody's hitting the wall all over the place. Now yellow flag in Sectors 1 and Sector 2. And let's see if Scarlett can keep it out of the wall. Now will Blank keep it out of the wall? Yes, he will. And yellow flags in 1, 2, and 3. There's yellow flags everywhere. I can't keep up with the action. And now there was a yellow flag flashing right there. I don't know if somebody might have no fuel. That could be my only presumption. No, I don't know who is causing that yellow. And then... Scar Logan leaves the session again. Very confused right now. As I believe letting by Albico is You See Me Flying. And maybe it's You See Me Flying, who is driving quite slow right now on his outlap. Swerving the tires, making them heat up, making them hot and sticky for his lap time. Wants to make sure there's nobody behind him, though. I believe he's letting it by another driver. That is Mitch in the McLaren. He's letting him by. And Yosemite Flying is causing these yellows because he is going quite slow on track. He's saving up all his energy. He wants to put in a killer lap time. Still that yellow flag in Sector 2 for going so slow. Here comes Albiku. He's on an outlap right now. And Mitch 791, he's a second and a half faster in this lap time right now. Mitch 791 is on a blistering lap time. We're going to ride on board of him in Sector 3. Coming on to the finish line. DRS will get activated. At some point, he's at 204, 205. The straight line speed is looking good. Let's see what this is going to be. Will it be pole position for Mitch? And yes, it will. He will beat his teammate. Mitch 791 on pole position by a tenth of a second with a minute 20 seconds to go. Nathan DeViller still in the pit lane, will not be able to get out in time, and Mitch 791 will be at the moment on pole position, and that's an amazing lap time by him. Seafreeze is 7/10 down on his time, though. Will he beat Mitch 791 to the line? Can he keep out of the wall? Ooh, just keeping it out of the wall. Now braking hard for Sector 3, and he's a second down on his lap time at the moment, which means he would be on pole position if he can keep it all together. Flip-Flop Fish, though, is on pole position at the moment. He goes over Mitch 791, and he's into the 138s. Is that going to be faster than Seafreeze's time as he's going to come across the line, and somebody goes ahead of Seafreeze. It's blank 101, but that's going to be momentarily. Let's see how faster he'll go. And no, he'll just get second fastest, and it is into the 138s, but it's not that 138 time Flip-Flop Fish held. McLaren's third and fourth fastest at the moment. And here is WSR Gurman, though. What is his time going to be? Redlining the car a little bit and keeping it just out of the wall. Now, Blank says he might have been going faster. I'm not sure. That might have been an outdated Delta time that I was getting there. As here comes Gurman. Session time has expired. The car is on track right now who are setting the lap times. These are final lap times. Sector 2 time. How much faster will it be? And it's not going to be any much faster, and this is not going to be the lap that's going to put him on pole position. Mitch is going very, very slow on track. I'm presuming he lost fuel. And I don't know if anybody is on a lap right now to be setting a time. It might be Yosemite Flying right now, who's 7/10 down on his current best time. And he'll be coming down the kinks, through the kinks, onto the main start-finish straight. What will his time be as he's going to come across the line? And there's the slow-moving McLaren, Yosemite Flying. And it won't be pole position, but it will be close. What time will he get? And it's going to be an improvement of 0.5 of a second, but he'll just remain 8th fastest, not able to get out of 8th position. Albiku is about 0.5 down right now in his Sector 2 time, it looks like, as he is going for a better lap. In the 1 minute 41.3, Ben swerving as well, not looking super fantastic right now, but let's see what his Sector 2 time is at the moment. It is 0.9 down, so he might improve by about a second, but that wouldn't be enough at the moment still to get him out of 10th position. And I would like to mention, Pastor actually jumped the 2 McLarens. He's in 4th and 5th at the moment. He just went with a 1:39.1, so a very good lap time by him at the end of qualifying. Here comes Albiku, 1.2 seconds faster in the 3rd sector. Will it be going to be jumping ahead of Yosemite Flying in 8th position? But Flip-Flop Fish is on pole position again in WSR. And absolute mayhem in qualifying. Crashing galore. Now, somebody is going to be on... No, see, somebody's going to be on... The Pastor, I believe, is going to be on pole position here in the Renault. And the 2 McLarens will go 4th and 5th. Provisional pole was for Flip-Flop, but it's going to be to Pastor, who gets pole position in this race. And I do believe it was Yosemite Flying who had that 5 grid place penalty. Yes, it is. So is Yosemite Flying. Albiku and Yosemite Flying are both going to be dropping down. Sweet Crown team will be saved by this. Is he going to go into the top 10? And big shape up right now in qualifying to Pastor. will benefit off of this, and he will be ahead of everybody. He's going to be on pole position at the moment. And a very good starting position for the Renault, looking to score a big bag of points. And a lot of sirens outside right now. Something's going on. Hope everybody's all right. As they're getting ready, 20 seconds till the formation lap of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, or we hope it's the formation lap. Last time there wasn't one. I'll get ready to go for 5 red lights just in case, as we're getting ready for 10, 9, 8, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And all the drivers load up, and it is going to be a formation lap. And here we go. We're going to go over the starting lineup for your Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Tapaster has gone up into pole position because of the grid drop penalties. Mitch 791 in second position, ahead of his teammate Nathan De Villers in the McLaren. The McLaren's taking up part of the first row and the second row. German is the highest placed Ferrari in fourth position, ahead of Flip Flop Fish in the Mercedes, who takes a 5 grid place penalty. Blank 101 is going to be in sixth position in the Haas, a very good start on his first race in WSR. Seafreeze 22 in the Alfa Romeo in seventh position, and Ben Swerven is Alfa Romeo teammate in eighth. Sweet Crown 19, a horrid qualifying for him, though saved by the grid place penalties for Yosemite Flyen and Albiku, has put him into 9th position. Dempsey in 11th position, and Albiku will take 12th position. Mike 52 in 13th. Yosemite Flyen all the way down in 14th place. And Formula Johnny, who was not able to join in time for qualifying, will start all the way down in 15th in the other racing point. Tapaster in his first race in WSR to be on the front row of the grid, and it's not just the front row of the grid, it is the front of the front row of the grid. Coming down towards Sector 3, warming up his tires, making him sure he's all ready for the start of this race. Tapaster must be very, very happy with what has been a crazy qualifying session. Definitely a lot of things might get investigated after the qualifying session if there weren't enough harsh penalties given out. We'll see what happens, as Tapaster should be in auto drive mode right now from the game. No, not just yet. You'll see the car immediately start to speed up as somebody actually does go ahead of him, as a lot of the cars will ghost. And definitely in auto mode right now. Very weird jerks of the wheel. Mike 52 did not start his formation lap. He's going to go ahead of Nathan De Villers and slot into his grid position. Pole position is on the racing line on this track, so better traction for Tapaster over Mitch in the turn 1, but a dive bomb may happen nonetheless. And here comes Formula Johnny, lining up on his final grid spot, right behind Yosemite Flyen. And we're getting ready for the 5 red lights for this Azerbaijan Grand Prix, just waiting for the lights to come on. And here they come on. It's Azerbaijan, and we're ready to bring the action. And the lights go off, and Tapaster looks to get a pretty good start, and it's Mitch who gets a terrible start off the line, and into turn 1, German is in second position, and all the cars staying relatively okay. It looks like there might have been front wing damage in the back of the grid, and it has been swerving all the way down, and he's actually retired from the session. There's a crash already in sector 1, and then big crash in the back, and there's Formula Johnny, who goes all the way down to the back of the grid. He had a spin somewhere, might have had contact with somebody else. Tapaster, though, keeps his first position slot ahead of WSR German. Nathan De Villers chasing him down, though. Flip Flop Fish 4 in fourth position ahead of Blank 101. Mitch had a horrid start. He's getting challenged right now. It is Mitch, actually, right now, Blank 101 is challenging Seafreeze 22, who Seafreeze just about gives him enough room, but then is able to get ahead of him. Mitch, 791. Now here comes the castle section. Where will we see some carnage happen here as he goes into the castle section? All the drivers seem to be okay And yes, filing through nicely. Don't want to be making any mistakes already so early into this race. All the drivers get out of the council section all okay cleanly. Yes, they do. And to Pastor in the Renault right now on pole position in this race. And he locks up into that turn, though. Gurman might be all over him onto this straight. Another lock up into the turn to Pastor. Goes wide, but so does Gurman. Nathan DeVillers also goes wide. Flip-flop Fish did not, though. He got a much better exit out of the turn. He will be chasing down Nathan DeVillers. Mike 52 is retired from the session. A crash in Sector 2. No idea what that was. Side-by-side Flip-flop Fish with the McLaren. And behind them is Seafreeze 22. Is this going to be 3 wide down the straight? This is going to be insane. Yes, they are. It's a 3 wide down the line, but then DeVillers goes into pit lane with damage. Flip-flop Fish and Seafreeze will go side-by-side, but then Flip-flop gets ahead of him. And look at this, Sweet Crown 19 already into 6th position, making up a lot of places, now going to chase down Mitch 79. And no DRS yet for the cars, so not enough straight line speed potential on the cars, be making big moves, and he'll just stay behind him at the moment. And Gurman is taking advantage of the fact that Pastor is not getting very good runs, and he's locking up again. He locks up constantly into the turns. It's going to kill tire life. Though, to be fair, Pastor is on the medium compound tire, so good for his strategy. Gurman is only on the softs. And, oh, there's a hit. There's a hit into the wall. Now, Gurman is going to back out of that. He doesn't want to be making an overtake towards the council section. You're just asking for trouble. And there is a yellow flag in Sector 1. It is gone now. And here comes Flip-flop Fish as well. He is into the mix of it now, chasing down Gurman, and so is Seafreeze. The top 4 are all in a big scrap right now, and I don't know if it's Pastor holding everybody up, but nevertheless, Pastor was going to get taken out, I believe, by Gurman with an overtake pretty soon, actually. As we're getting on to lap 3 now, DRS will be activated. And here comes Gurman. And huge slipstream for the Ferrari right now. Pastor almost hits the wall, but now it's dying a little bit. Will he be able to get ahead of Pastor? It might have to be a bit of a dive, but here comes Flip-flop Fish, and he's the one who gets the run on Gurman, and Gurman actually drops all the way down the 4th position right now. It's going to be going a little bit into the corner. Gurman trying to get ahead of Seafreeze, and Seafreeze has a bit of a spin. DRS has been enabled, and there is big carnage right now. Top 3 are battling. Flip-flop going on the inside to Pastor, who doesn't get the position. Gurman is chasing him down. Flip-flop Fish is going to have DRS, and he will go way past Pastor, who does have front wing damage. In fact, here comes Gurman. Is he going to make a dive bomb? No, Pastor braking hard. He doesn't actually lock up into the turn, and that was big carnage. Seafreeze is all the way down, and there's been contact of Mitch, possibly. I don't know. Mitch, he's coasting right now on the track right now. I'm not too sure what happens. Seafreeze, does he have damage? He's all the way down in 8th position. And no idea what happened there. I don't know why he's so far back. Here comes Sweet Crown 19 getting ahead of Albiku. And Seafreeze has crashed on track right now. And what has happened? Seafreeze leaves the session. And absolutely no idea what has happened. There's a yellow flag right now. We're going to see where that car is. And Seafreeze, he might have just quit out of the session. I'm not sure if there was contact of another driver. Ben Swerven is out of the session right now. And Dempsey and Formula Johnny all the way at the back. And Pastor is all the way down the 2nd position right now, getting passed by Flip-flop Fish, a 5-second penalty for Dempsey, and Gurman has to slow up a lot as Pastor, again, a bad run out of the turn. Pastor might just be looking to limit the overtakes right now from him, as Gurman will most definitely get slipstream, and he will most definitely get DRS. And, almost putting it to the wall again was Pastor. That could have been a monstrous impact if Gurman got caught up into that accident. DRS activated, and then he goes into pits. Pastor has to replace that front wing damage on his car. Gurman promotes himself in the 2nd position. Blank will take that position. Sweet Crown 19, though. He might get a move on him, and he's going to make a big dive bomb in the turn 1. Here comes Sweet Crown 19 on Blank, and he makes the move done. And into 3rd position is the Ferrari of Sweet Crown 19. And it's Mercedes in front, the 2 Ferraris in the back, a Haas in 4th, and You See Me Flying in the Mercedes is in 5th. And Nathan DeVillers is getting ahead of those 2 drivers. Ben Swerven leaves the session, obviously not very happy with the start of this race for him. Albiku out of the pits. Hard compound tires go on his Red Bull car. Formula Johnny in the pink Racing Point car in 10th position. And Dempsey keeping it just out of the wall on those soft compound tires. We're going to ride on board with DePaster right now, who's currently chasing down Nathan DeVillers after he's had that issue. And, oh, look at this. Nathan DeVillers gets a really bad run out of the turn. He might have to make an overtake here as DeVillers is going to have to go defensive into the turn as he's going to let Nathan DeVillers is actually going to let him by. I think he knew he had compromised. He might have just been letting him by and make the overtake again at a later point. We'll see if that was the case. As DePaster, I believe, he's actually on the soft tires. I don't know if that was a good decision. I would have gone on the hard compound tires and went till the end. He's going to have to make another pit stop in this race for sure with those soft compound tires on. The Villers, though, is on the hard. So at the moment, not really able to be challenging at all. But the Villers hits the bungee cord of a curb there and goes into the wall. Flip-Flop Fish goes fastest at the moment. Gurman is into the pits with those soft tires, and then Blank is promoted into third position. A Haas on the moment at the podium. Sweet Crown 19 is in second position. Flip-Flop Fish is into the lead of this race, and the two championship rivals, though it is actually Sweet Crown 19 is a little bit further back than Flip-Flop Fish in the championship at the moment. Just got to catch my breath a little bit here, ladies and gentlemen. Absolute madness as here comes Formula Johnny and Albiku, and they make contact actually before into the turn, and then Albiku and Formula Johnny are going to make a little bit of contact. Let's see if Albiku dives, going to try to go around the outside, and Formula Johnny just doesn't really give him any room, and Formula Johnny made a little bit of contact there. But then again, bumping and racing, isn't that just part of racing, I feel like? As Albiku, though, might get a little, look to get possibly a little touchy. I think he wanted to make an overtake, but just there really wasn't any room. Formula Johnny had no reason to give him any space. Albiku almost went into the back of Formula Johnny, almost punted him into the wall. Now, does he have front wing damage? Did he hit the back of that Racing Point, or is he good to go? I think he is good to go. I didn't see any contact. As Dempsey is all the way down in 11th position, 28 seconds behind the rest of the field. Lots of gaps so far. Lap 5 of 26 at the moment. And a yellow flag in Sector 1. Not too sure who that was for. We'll see in just a second if somebody did have an accident, though I think everybody's all right. So Flip-Flop Fish is on pole position at the moment. Sorry, not pole position. He did get pole position, but it was taken away from him. He's in the lead of the race at the moment. Oh boy. And he will hope to keep the lead of this race. Not too much action going on. The drivers are separated by quite a little bit of seconds. And we're just waiting to see any more possible into the pits we go moments. Here's Sweet Crown 19. He's actually on the medium compound tires as well, so he'll go a little bit long into this race. We'll see how the pit stops go. They're about 7 seconds from each other, so Sweet Crown 19 will have time to decide if he wants to pit when Flip-Flop pits or not. We'll see if that is the case. The gap is 7 seconds. Blank 4 seconds behind Sweet Crown 19. That time is growing more and more. You see me flying in 4th position. In the Mercedes, 6 seconds behind Blank. Mitch 791 is 4.7 seconds behind You See Me Flying in the McLaren. Now about 4.5 seconds. It's Pastor, who started on pole position. Not a good run for him so far, though, as he's riding down in 6th. DeVillers in the McLaren. Now keeping it out of the wall, and you see he was very close. And oh, look at this. Albiku and then Dempsey have both had incidents in sectors 1 and 2. And Albiku is out of the race. We're going to see right now where that yellow flag was, as Dempsey has front wing damage. Let's hope he can keep it out of the wall. There's a yellow in sector 2. Is this going to cause a safety car? I'm still riding on board with Albiku. The yellow flag is gone. So the car might have just disappeared. Was this in the castle section? We're just going to about wait and see. Will Dempsey keep it out of the wall in the castle? Yes, he will. And, ooh, just scraping the wall there. As the yellow flag has definitely gone away now. No safety car, surprisingly, with the amount of issues that we've had in this race. And Pastor sitting in 6th position at the moment. Lap 7 of 26. He's chasing down right now the McLaren of Mitch 791, currently the closest battle. A yellow flag in Sector 1. And, oh, look at this! Gurman has had an incident and he's crashed, and his front wing is completely gone on that Ferrari. And this is not very good for the Ferrari as he hits the wall again. He wants to keep it out of the wall. Don't push it too hard, Gurman, or you're going to go into the wall and they're going to retire. And that's the last thing he's going to want as he's coming up to this castle section. And Gurman has front wing damage. Now, Formula Johnny will maybe catch up to him, but I don't know if he's going to have enough time to make the it happen. Oh, that was almost a horrid collision for him. And, oh, no, and it is going to be a crash, and Gurman crashing in the castle section. Now, is this going to bring out a safety car? It just might. Will the game decide a castle section crash is safety car worthy? Gurman is rolling in the pit, is rolling there, and his car despawns. He's leaving the session. Will there be a safety car? Formula Johnny, and the car is gone. So the game is still deciding not to give a safety car, but Gurman is out of this race. And then there were there will be 9 now, as Dempsey will overtake Gurman. Then there was just 9. So all the drivers are going to be scoring points in this race. A huge amount of retirements already in this race. Is Mitch 791. Does he have damage? I'm not too sure if he does. He might have an end plate issue. No, it just looks like he's losing pace to Pastor. Pastor just being a faster driver at the moment. But Mitch is also catching up to Yosemite Flying, so this might get a little dicey. But Pastor is now only about half a second behind Mitch, coming up towards the castle section. Let's see what he can do. We're riding on board right now with the Renault. And braking hard, hitting the apex. Let's see if he can make anything happen soon. Coming into the castle section, not hitting the wall, keeping it out of the wall, unlike Gurman just did. Crashing into the wall. And the Ferrari is out. Sweet Crown 19. It's the only Ferrari at the moment who can score points. And Mitch drops back a little bit from... Pastor drops a little back from Mitch, but then... getting close again in the braking zone. Mitch might not be having good braking issues right now, as he's not braking necessarily where you think he should be. And now coming up onto this DRS straight. With DRS, can he get ahead of Mitch? Mitch was not running a super high speed setup, so he might be able to get ahead of him. Here comes the slipstream, and then the DRS will come in just a second, and I believe it already has. Will he catch up to him enough in time? I don't think he will. It's just 0.3 separating them. He looks on the inside. Mitch, to be fair, also did have DRS on Yosemite Flying, who actually right now is the worst person in this situation, as he has no DRS. He's going to be a sitting duck. But Mitch, who has the better exit, it looked to be Mitch who had a better exit, but here comes the Pastor, and there's 2 guys of DRS. The only guy who doesn't have it is Yosemite Flying. He's going to have to defend possibly from Mitch, but no. And it's the Pastor who almost hits the back of Mitch as he still keeps it alive. And a train of 3 cars battling right now for 4th position at the moment. It's Mitch, to Pastor, and Yosemite Flying. Yosemite Flying in the Mercedes right now, the benefactor of being in 4th position at the moment. The issue is he doesn't have any DRS to tag along with, so he might get overtaken, possibly this lap. Castle section coming up again. Making sure to keep it alive, not crashing. The Pastor is actually dropping back a little bit from Mitch. Mitch is all over the back of Yosemite Flying. Now, this is going to kill the lifetime of these medium tires, which is what DePastor might be thinking about. He did put on those soft compound tires. He will have to make another pit stop. And hard braking into that turn. DePastor is again close up again to Mitch 791. He looks on the inside, but then decides to back out of it. And I think that was the smart call to make. Here comes to Pastor. He's in that slipstream of Mitch 791, much closer this time than he was last time. He's going to have that DRS flap that's going to open. Let's see if he can make an overtake here. On to the start-finish straight. Used to be flying. Might he go into the pits? It looked like he was looking for the pit lane. And no, he won't make a pit lane move, but here comes Mitch, 791 side-by-side with the Mercedes. Well, to Pastor, look to make a move too, and it's going to be a double overtake. Usemi Flying might lose 2 positions, but then he's going to make contact with the Pastor. Does the Pastor have front wing damage? No, he doesn't. Usemi Flying, though, almost lost 2 positions in 1 corner, but he's going to keep it alive, but for how much longer, as he is going to have DRS down the straight. The Pastor will as well. And he's swerving a little bit, trying to fake him a little bit maybe, and almost goes into the wall. Usemi Flying losing just 1 position there, as Mitch goes in the 3rd position in this race at the moment, 19 seconds behind Sweet Crown 19. And a very, very good little sprint right now for the mid-pack racers right now as the Pastor has dropped back quite a bit from his pole position start. Here comes Usemi Flying. He's chasing down Mitch and getting close to him, in fact, and he's going to get close to him possibly before this DRS straight and possibly get into 3rd position if he gets close enough. We're going to ride on board with the Mercedes driver, and let's see what he can do. Braking hard before coming into Sector 3. Another hard braking zone. And now, getting a good exit. Can he get a better exit than Mitch? I don't think he did. Is he going to just stay if win? No, he's not going to get DRS down the straight. He's going to be outside of it before the detection zone. And that's not going to help his cause at all, as Mitch can run away with it. But to Pastor is going to be the one with DRS. Usemi Flying is going to be a sitting duck right now. And huge slipstream and straight line speed. And to Pastor is going to fly past Usemi Flying, and in the turn 1 he goes, and Usemi Flying has now dropped 2 positions. But then look at this, Usemi Flying gets a much better run. To Pastor went too deep, and he's going to go on the inside, and is he going to make contact of him? Yes, he will, as here comes to Pastor. He's still ahead of Usemi Flying in the turn, but Usemi Flying should have DRS down the straight. He doesn't actually have it. No, none of the drivers have it. That's interesting. I'm not too sure why, but nevertheless, Usemi Flying did make a little bit of contact with him. And that was almost a disaster. And Usemi Flying in 5th position at the moment, trying to chase down to Pastor again. Mitch has gone a little bit further ahead, 2.8 seconds ahead of Pastor. 11 laps so far in this race of 26. And dropping back a little bit as Usemi Flying. And we're just waiting to see if any more times get a little closer. We'll definitely catch up with them. We're going to ride on board of Usemi Flying for a little bit, who is closest, though actually a little bit closer to the Pastor. We got a bad run out of the turn. He is going to have DRS down this straight. Let's see if he can get close to him. And yes, he will. Slipstream is in full effect. DRS is in full effect to Pastor. Is he going to go into the pit lane? Somebody's darting him. Both of them, no. And Usemi Flying fakes him out to Pastor, goes into the pits. Mitch does as well. Usemi Flying into 3rd position. Although, there's an accident here. Formula Johnny crashing in Sector 2. Now, has he crashed in the... Has he crashed in there? I'm not too sure. I'm going to run on board as Swift Flop Fish has made a pit stop. Sweet Crown 19 is into the lead. I'm going to see if this is a castle section crash. And yes, it is. It is a castle section crash, and it's a declared moment for Formula Johnny as he goes into the wall before the castle section, and Formula Johnny is out of this race, now just 8 positions in this race. Sweet Crown 19 is in the lead, but it's only 11 seconds. He will lose that position. Right now, though, the 2 Mercedes drivers, 2nd and 3rd on the grid right now. Usemi Flying, to be fair, is on that medium compound tire. He will have to make another pit stop. And there's a yellow flag in Sector 2 again. Now, is this Mitch and Nathan DeVillers? Not too sure. The 2 McLarens in 5th and 6th at the moment. And almost half the grid has retired. In fact, no, more than half the grid has retired in this session, and that is not a good sight to see. Nonetheless, a lot of the drivers not able to keep it out of the wall, it seems, as Nathan DeViller is right now closest to somebody, and that is, in fact, his teammate, who is 10 seconds behind Blank. And if he can get a little bit closer, now out of sight of us, now a second separating them. He wants to get close to him, so he has to get a good run out of this turn if he wants to get DRS, but I think he's dropping a little bit too far back. Does Nathan DeVillers have front wing damage? I don't believe he does. We're going to see if he does. And no, he does have front wing damage. It's an end plate that's gone on the McLaren. DePaster is chasing somebody down, and oh, there is somebody, yellow flag in Sector 1, and it is Dempsey, I think, might be the one in Sector 1. Yep, there is half a front wing gone on Dempsey's car. And that Williams is a little bit worse for wear than it normally is. He has to brake really hard in order to miss the walls of Azerbaijan. And Dempsey, 62, 132, is in 8th position at the moment. A minute 23.1 seconds behind Sepaster. So to say his race is a little bit of a loner race right now would be a bit of an understatement. It used to be fine. I would like to mention is struggling right now, as Blank is actually getting very close to him, though he does scrape a little bit of the wall. And look at that. Who has done that? Is that Flip-Flop Fish? I don't know who that was. It was Dempsey. Oh, it was Dempsey. Oh, goodness. That almost could have been a disaster for one driver. But his whole race has been a bit of a disaster for Dempsey at the moment. But it used to be fine. I think might have had a bit of a panic moment there in that yellow flag, and he has slowed down considerably. Blank 101 is chasing him down. This is a newer driver on the grid. Let's see what he can do against the Mercedes driver. Could he split up the pack, get into 3rd position, and get on the podium again? Blank 101 is on the hard compound tire. Used to be fine on the mediums, not yet making a pit stop. Used to be fine, gets a terrible run out of there, and before the DRS straight even happens, I believe he'll get ahead of him. Yes, he will. There's a little bit of contact. They did go side by side. Now, used to be flying, should go into the pit lane. Is he going to slot? No, he's just going to slot behind him, and he'll get DRS down at the out of the 3rd turn. Braking hard in the turn 1. Blank at the moment in the lead. Ahead of him in 3rd position. Braking hard. Used to be fine. Has not had good grip with these medium tires. They might be reaching the end of their lifespan on that Mercedes car. He will have to make a pit stop soon. He was on the mediums. I believe it's because he had to pit so early because he had damage, I believe, in the beginning of this race. But he is in the 4th position at the moment. There was a lot of carnage in that pit stop, in that pit lane. So, lots of things have happened. Lap 14 of 26. So, we're definitely over halfway through this race. And something is banging on my house. I have no idea what it is. And we'll hope that everything's alright and I don't die tonight. Maybe it's just a thunderstorm. Maybe that's what it is. It was raining all day yesterday. I felt like I was back in Season 1 in WSR when it used to rain in every single race we had. It was a very sad time. Now used to be fine. The owner of the league has just made it no more rainy races. The owner of the league having a very good race right now. He's in 4th position in this race. Flip-Flop Fish has gone back the lead of the race over Sweet Crown 19, who was 6.3 seconds behind Flip-Flop Fish. Flip-Flop Fish would love to get a win after getting penalized in Germany and just missing a win in Britain. Nathan DeViller is 2.7 seconds behind to Pastor. That's currently the closest gap at the moment. McLaren versus Renault versus McLaren, 5, 6, and 7th on the grid. And we're just going to give you a little bit of engine action right now, as we'll stay silent and give you a little bit of action on the onboard site of Flip-Flop Fish. Flag in Sector 1. Who was that? Nobody at the moment I see. Maybe it was Dempsey. But anyway, I'm going to ride on board a Flip-Flop Fish. I'm just going to turn off the mic for a second and let you enjoy the noise of the engine. And I'll be back with you in about a lap. And back on commentary, Sweet Crown 19 actually behind him goes fastest. 5.9 seconds, now back to 6.2 seconds, separating the two drivers. All the drivers are separated by about half a second, except half of 10 seconds. Besides Blank 101, who is 19 seconds behind. It is lap 17 of 26. We are entering the closing stages of this lap. Under 10 laps to go. And Sweet Crown 19, second position on the grid at the moment, ahead of Blank 101, who's currently third position at the moment. Blank would be thrilled to get a podium position right now, but again, a lot of the action has happened from the back of the grid. As you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 DNFs in this race. 15 drivers started. Now there are just 8. So a big, colossal amount of action happening in this race. It does say 14 drivers, but we did have 15 who were in the lobby, so I do believe we started with 15. Lap 18 of 26 now. And we're running on board with the Ferrari of Sweet Crown 19. Not a lot of action going on right now. We'll update you as soon as we can see any lap times getting any closer. Let's turn on the telemetry and delta times so you can see just how fast these drivers are going. Sweet Crown 19 is on that hard compound tire. Now, Flip Flop is also on the hards. Newer hards, I would say, though, than Sweet Crown 19. So he does have the tire advantage, and he is seemingly going faster than Flip Flop Fish at the moment in general. Flip-Flop Fish in the lead. Nathan DeVillers has dropped to 14 seconds behind You See Me Flying in the McLaren. Dempsey a full lap behind the rest of the grid. You See Me Flying in 6th position behind to Pastor, who started on pole, is now 5th. So the constructors will not be looking too hot for most of the teams, but at the moment in time, the team that will gain the most points in terms of collectively would be in the McLarens. Nathan DeVillers and Mitch, respectively, 4th and 7th. I do believe... No, because then Flip-Flop and You See Me Flying, I forgot, both Mercedes cars. But everybody else on their own team, Dempsey and Blank, and to Pastor, everybody else is on a team and has their teammate. It's lap 19 of 26, and we're gaining near the end. 20 seconds, separating now. Sweet Crown 19 and Blank 101. Mitch 791 in 4th position. Possibly looking to get into 3rd, not too sure. It depends how much faster Blank is. I'm going to see what tires he's on. Mitch is on the both are on the hard compound tire right now. So, tire advantage is pretty much lifespan at the moment, but they are, and there's a yellow flag in Sector 2. Not too sure who that was for. And there's the yellow flag that's popping up. We'll see right now who is the slow car on track right now, and it is Dempsey. And, ooh, look at that. Sweet Crown 19 almost went ahead of him. Dempsey now, I believe, might have quit, as he is basically ghosting on track right now. And no, he's a puncture. That's why Dempsey hit a wall, and there is a right front puncture on the Williams. And bad to worse for Dempsey in this race. 8th position at the moment. And he has front wing damage, so he hit a wall somewhere and has thankfully not crashed out of this race yet. So a flat might be just a little bit better than what you would originally think, because he could have just been out of this race entirely and lost that 8th position finish. Interestingly enough, if you do quit, you still gain points. You only don't gain any points if you actually crash in the race, which I think is very, very rich. Coming out of the pits, lap 20. And who's this? To Pastor, I believe, getting ahead of the Williams, and he will get ahead of him before. So no issues have to happen there. I think he actually ghosted, as now the cars do in fact ghost, so there's no issues there. As De Villers actually goes fastest. He's on that soft compound tire, which would make sense why he's going so fast. He is 9.9 seconds behind Yosemite Flying, who is also on soft tires, so he might be looking to go fastest on the grid right now. Let's ride on board of the McLaren. Let's see what his Sector 1 time is going to be, if he can go fastest at the moment. You see me flying. What will that time look like? And it's going to be slower. So you see me flying might have gone, maybe he already went faster, because he is slower than that previous time. De Villers is fastest on track at the moment. Sector 1 time not looking too hot, 1.1 seconds off of the fastest lap he just set. You see me flying, going through the castle section right now, 5.7 seconds behind to Pastor. Nathan De Villers, 10 seconds now, 9.8. Now, if they crash into the castle section, I just don't know what to tell you, everybody, because now they have better grip. They should be able to make it through just fine. Lap 21 of 26. We are in the closing stages. 5 laps plus this one. Flip-Flop Fish definitively in the lead right now. 6.6 seconds ahead of Sweet Crow 19. The only thing that could possibly change this is an accident. But both drivers have stayed relatively calm-free. Not something they didn't do during qualifying. Sweet Crow 19 has kept it out of the wall. He's on that hard compound tire, though. I gotta tell you, everybody, I'm a little shocked that the drivers are actually able to keep it out of there, as he did grace the wall there a little bit. Here comes Sweet Crown 19. And he keeps it out of the wall. Again, grazing the wall, though. Is now Blank 101, 23 seconds behind. In the Haas right now, 3.6 seconds ahead of Mitch, 791, who's also on hards. Let's see if Mitch can gain a podium. A Haas driver on the podium is something I don't think we've ever seen in WSR. So that would be nice to see. A little bit of American representation from Blank 101. Braking hard for the castle section. No issues there. Now, I might have just jinxed him. He might crash, and I'll feel incredibly sad. Not really. I don't actually feel sad for it. Here's the Pastor. Somehow Dempsey's actually gone ahead of him. Obviously, blue flags would be getting waved. I think Dempsey might have left the session, which is why he's going so slow. But that wouldn't explain why he's had so many accidents either. The Pastor is actually having issues, as he's not able to catch up to the lapped car, to the car he's supposed to lap, which is in fact Dempsey 62. So, issues for him. And braking hard, you see me flying. Sorry, Sweet Crown 19. Why did I say you see me flying? You see me flying is all the way down in 6th now. So he is, of course, ahead of where he was. But then again, you can be ahead of where he was because there's not a lot of cars on grid at the moment. Again, 5 cars. So actually 6 cars. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 cars retiring out of this race. So pretty bad in terms of living for the drivers right now, as Mitch is actually still catching up. It is 2.3 seconds now, so there might be a battle for 3rd position brewing here. We're going to ride on board of Mitch 791, see how that unfolds. I presume Mitch has better tire life. Let's look at that and see how much longer. No? I would like to mention the Pastor is on mediums, but he's not able to catch up to him. But, yep, 2 laps younger are Mitch tires, and unless Mitch does something stupid and locks up the tires or uses them too much like he did there. 1.9 seconds is that gap, now 2.1 probably because of that little incident. But he is catching up to him, and if he can catch up to him in time, he might just be able to battle for third position, get himself on the podium. And Mitch would not complain at all about that one. Mitch bursting onto the scene at the German Grand Prix. Wasn't able to make it for the British Grand Prix, I don't believe. And has so far just been absolutely amazing. Very, very impressive. He did have it on pole position ahead of his teammate at one point. Actually near the end of qualifying. Of course, then the big boys, Flip Flop Fish and Seafreeze, were able to get ahead of him. Mitch still catching up to him, 1.8 seconds. A lot smoother through the turns, I would presume, is why he's catching up to him so quickly. 1.7 seconds now 1.6. That lap time, that gap is slowing down considerably. Blank, is he going to be a little desperate? He's going to block a little bit, maybe be a bit dirty, not too sure. We'll see how Blank is as a driver. This might be the first time where he's really been put under pressure in terms of what to do near the end of this. Now just 1.3 seconds. Mitch will definitely catch up to Blank 101 before the end of this race ends. Lap 23 of 26. Here comes Flip Flop Fish. He's going through the kinks now, and now it's just 1 second separating them. Now 8/10 of a second, and the lap gap is definitely decreasing by a lot. Now 9/10 of a second separating them. Out of the exit, 7/10 of a second. The gap is decreasing and decreasing and decreasing. Now going down the straight, building a little bit for Blank. He did get a better run now, 9/10 of a second. But again, the braking seems to be a lot better on the McLaren right now. 1 second is separating them, though. And Blank is actually able to gain a little bit here, getting some better exits, making him drive a little bit for this position. Let's see what's going to happen. Dempsey, 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. 1.1 seconds. Mitch 791. Now Mitch gained a lot of time. Gained a lot of time in the first and second sectors. So is that going to happen again? Is it these hard braking turns, these completely right-hand turns? Is that what's causing him these issues? Let's see if he is going to lose time. And yes, he is going to lose time there. Getting better run is Mitch, and I think it is Mitch in the second and first sectors where he's gaining this considerable amount of time. 1.1 seconds is the gap right now. Lap 24 of 26 in this race. 3 laps to go plus this one. And Mitch 791 now under fire. 9/10 of a second separating the two drivers. Sector 1 just about to end for them. 8/10 of a second separating them. Braking hard again. 7/10 of a second separating them. Blank 101 trying to keep it smooth. Mitch looking a little smoother at the moment, though. 8/10 flat, then back to 7 seconds. 7/10 of a second. Into the castle section to go. How well will Blank take this? Takes it pretty well. So does Mitch, though. Mitch, though, looks to just miss the apex there. Blank gets a better run out of the turn, and he's going to gain more time on him. And it looks to be third sector. Not dialed in right now as Mitch, though. Mitch is gaining a little bit of time, unlike last time before. But now a lockup. Oh, that might have cost Mitch there. A lockup into the turn, pushing a little bit too hard as Blank gets ahead of him again before the DRS detection zone. Not able to open up that DRS flap for himself. It is now lap 25 of 26, and Flip Flop Fish 4 is 11 seconds ahead of Sweet Crown 19, who has gone into the pits. And coming out of the pits, he will put on that I believe he will put on the softs. Yes, he will put on that soft compound tire. Blank. And now Mitch, look at this. Mitch has DRS open, so he was able to catch up to him. I apologize for that. Didn't notice that. And now Mitch is going to be in dirty air, though. But again, coming down this DRS straight, he will have DRS, braking hard, running up on the curb a little bit. Is Blank 101? Not. Mitch 791. Here he comes. DRS activated. Will he be able to make a dive bomb anywhere? No. I think he'll keep it honest, keep it clean, and yes, he will. And no, but then it's Blank who hits the wall, and he got pressured, and he hit the wall, and there goes Mitch in the third position. Blank has murdered the chance of a podium just right there. Now, it looked like Mitch might get the position regardless, but now there's front wing damage on the Haas car to Pastor is quite far ways away, so I don't think this will affect him too much, but there is considerable damage on Blank 101's car. Mitch promotes himself in the third position, and again, hitting the wall again, almost crashed it in the castle section. Blank needs to keep himself steady here as he does graze the wall right there, and that was not good. Lap 26 of 26 now begins. Blank 101 is struggling right now. He just has to keep it alive in these final moments of this race. DePastor has, of course, gained about 3 seconds so far, but it's not going to be enough. Blank 101 just simply has to keep it alive. He's going to come through these turns, and he just has to be nice and easy on the throttle, not pushing too hard. And look at that, he is lifting off, exceeding track limits. 5-second penalty for Dempsey. Again, the AI is not driving too well right now in the Williams. Unless that is, in fact, Dempsey driving, though. I don't believe it was, because he is just going too slow, I feel like it would be for human ability. And braking hard in the turn one. Is he going to be able to brake hard enough? Is he going to keep out of the wall? Yes, he will. Just barely keeping out of the wall, though. Blank is already 6 seconds behind Mitch, and this is not good for himself as he is really struggling with that lack of front downforce. He just has to keep out of the wall. Now, this is the turn that killed him. I think he's going to be very cautious into this turn, and yes, he is going to be cautious into that turn. And there is the front wing bits that came off the car wedged in the United Arab Emirates sign right there. 7.2 seconds are separating them now. I would like to mention Yosemite flying as close to the passer, but it won't be enough, I think. And Blank 101, he's coming up to this castle section. I think this is the last time that he really needs to worry about anything. He's going to brake hard for this, and I'm sure he'll brake hard for the castle section. Make sure not to crash. Coming into the castle section, out of the wall, he keeps it, and Flip Flop Fish is going to win the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Sweet Crown 19 will come across to finish in second position. Mitch 791 in a big pressure situation was able to gain third position. A McLaren podium as Nathan DeVillers is all the way down in seventh position. Not the best race for him. Mitch actually able to redeem himself a little bit after a bad start. Sweet Crown 19 does go fastest on track. Here comes Mitch to finish off the podium positions, and he will do just that. Coming across the line, and there is your top three. Here comes Blank 101 in the Haas. He'll keep it alive regardless. He won't get on the podium, but it will be fourth position for the Haas driver. Coming across the line, there he goes. The Pastor will now come across the start-finish line, and he will get fifth position unless Yosemite Flying has something to say about it. But then Yosemite Flying spins, and there's been an accident. Yosemite Flying is now in an accident. Oh, Nathan DeVillers almost hit the Mercedes, and then Yosemite Flying has murdered his race. The final moment spinning. He must be livid in the Mercedes, and he is all the way down in seventh, only not to be passed by Dempsey, who was 2 laps behind the rest of the grid. But Yosemite Flying out of this. He was battling for to Pastor's fifth position. Spun, loses a position to Nathan DeVillers, and not the way to end the race that I think he was looking for. Dempsey will just have to come across the line. Once he does, the race will end. But Yosemite Flying wins the Grand Prix. Sorry, Flip Flop Fish wins the Grand Prix in the Mercedes. Sorry, I mixed up Mercedes there a little bit. Flip Flop Fish is your winner in Azerbaijan. A absolutely carnage fest of a race. Not maybe the most exciting race, but definitely a lot of action going on. Formula Johnny in the chat, what a yoke, and that is just, in fact, maybe a little bit of a joke. But Flip Flop Fish wins the Grand Prix. Sweet Crown 19 comes in second position, and Alan Prost apparently in the Mercedes now, as Mitch 791 gets on the podium in the McLaren. It's Mercedes, Ferrari, McLaren, a podium that I think would be a dream to see in 2020. Let's see if we'll see it in the real Formula 1 season. As thank you for watching, this has been coverage of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix by Worldwide Sim Racing. My name is WSRXer Noah Clark. just going on to the leaderboard section of the race, just to go over my top 5 with you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Worldwide Sim Racing is glad to bring you coverage of all these races, and maybe I'm not going to get to see the podium, the leaderboard. I'm just on a blank screen. The game might have just died on me. I think it has. That's great. No. Oh, it's over. I didn't get to see a single bit of the leaderboard. Fantastic. Nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, have yourselves a wonderful night, and I'll catch you guys later. Thank you so much, and have a great night.